Audio Jungle.
Welcome to the seminar, the webinar series, Attract Clients Now. I am so glad you are here. Today's episode is about how to network like a rock star. Yeah, I know it doesn't seem possible, right? It is possible, but I want to spend a moment welcoming you to the webinar series. And it is about how to network like a rock star, but oftentimes I hear, wow, networking sucks. Or does it? It really doesn't. And today I'm going to show you why. Today, we're going to talk about where to go, what to say, and all sorts of aspects of a successful networking event. Me, I'm Jody Scholes, and my company is called The Business of Bodywork. You can find us at thebusinessofbodywork.com. I have been a very successful massage therapist for the last 21 years, and it's my intention today to share with you some of these secrets, some of these insights, some of the learning lessons. But before we do, I want to mention that no matter where you are in your practice, whether you're brand new or you've been doing this like me for 20 plus years, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with your first step. And that first step is you being in this webinar today. So congratulations. Good choice. Let's set our intention. I love to set the intention for our session so that we're very clear about what we're trying to create. So if you could read this with me. Dear universe, please guide my thoughts today. Please help me to clearly hear, see, and feel, and know the divine guidance that I've asked for is now manifesting. As I sit down to participate in this learning, allow me to keep my ego out of the way so that wisdom can come streaming through and to me for the highest good of my clients, the highest good of my family, the highest good for me, and for all concerned. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's part of like the massage therapist in me. I've got to set the intention. So thank you for allowing me to set the intention for our session today. Now, if you've participated with me before, you know that I believe you have a number of different hats that you wear as a business owner. And that there are different roles. That means there are different roles that you play each and every day in your business. Today we're going to be focusing on the marketing of your business, and that's really what this series is about. The marketing and the financial success, bringing more clients into your practice. But I want you to just take a moment and pause and recognize you do wear all these different hats. As operations person, you're scheduling. You're deciding on the times that you're going to make appointments available. You're scheduling appointments. You're confirming appointments. That's all the manager, the operations of your business. If you have your clients fill out, and you should have your clients fill out a health intake form, that is, that form that you chose was part of the operations of your business. You made a management decision on what form to choose to support your operations. So I hope that makes sense. We're going to be talking about number 2, marketing, but sometimes as the CEO and owner, you decide you want to bring on colleagues. You want to offer, once your business is booming and there are more clients than you can take care of yourself, sometimes you're going to hire a subcontractor or an employee to support you. And that's an ownership decision. Another hat you wear is finance. A financial decision is whether or not to take a small business loan. A financial decision is whether or not to invest in advertising. Those are ideas of you have to put your finance hat on. Never mind pay the bills, do the books, ick. Technician, production. Number 5 is probably what you went to massage school for. And that is because you wanted to do the work. You wanted to produce. You wanted to be the technician. You wanted to be a massage therapist. And that's where we generate the majority of our revenue, is through production. Sales is when you talk to people about doing seated massage. And we're going to do sales is when you share your opinion on when your client needs their next session. Going ahead and rebooking them is actually a little bit of sales. And then, at some point you get to have a personal life. Yeah, you get to actually have a personal life. That's another hat you get to wear, because you take off all those other hats and focus just on those things that are important to you. But today you've joined me to talk about networking like a rock star. So imagine cold. Have you ever had this happen? Imagine a networking event that you've been to. Cold, sweaty palms, sick feeling in the pit of your stomach, eyes rolling with dread. I cannot believe I am here. Why did I get up so early to come and do this? It's way too early. I'm about to walk into a room where there's phony people with fake smiles. They're about to try and sell me. And oh my God, it's really too early for all this rah, rah, rah. Why did I agree to go to this event? I hate these types of things. Yeah. Have you ever felt like that? I have to tell you, I have. But today, I'm going to share with you the secrets that allow you to network like a pro. After discovering these simple tools that we're going to use today, I'm going to explain today, you'll be able to weed out those overzealous, salesy people and stay laser focused on meeting the other health and wellness professionals, all while feeling calm and maybe even a bit courageous. This session that you're going to learn today, the tools that you're going to learn, the insights I'm going to share with you are going to make you irresistible to the clients that you need right now. So in this episode, we're going to distinguish. Here's what I'm going to share with you today on how to make you irresistible to the clients that need you right now, because there are clients right now that need you. Here's how you find them and how they find you. We're going to distinguish the 3 different types of networking meetings. I'm going to show you how to create an awesome elevator pitch and a brief introduction. So depending on how much time you have, we're going to cover both. And then I'm going to also explain to you and show you the simple formula of how to follow up after event. So what the heck is networking anyway? If you've been in business any length of time, you have probably been invited to promote your business via networking. This is simply, what is networking? Well, it's simply a group of people that come together on a weekly or bi-monthly or monthly basis to create visibility for their business. And too often, well-meaning, enthusiastic people who are just trying to step out of their shell, make the mistake, and it is a mistake, that a networking event is a selling event. Networking is not a time to sell. The purpose is not to sell. Networking is simply for visibility. Let me repeat that. Networking is not a time to sell. It's not even really a time to set up appointments, although now and then that happens. Networking is simply for visibility. Relax. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Yes. Oh, all you have to do is be visible. A successful networking event does not mean you got a new client that night. It might turn into a new client, but all you're doing that night or that day or that morning or that lunch is being visible. You're welcome. Now, there are 3 types of networking. Let's start with the weekly meeting. The weekly meeting is one type. The other 2 types we're going to talk about are the open networking and a special event networking. So we're going to focus first, number 1, on the weekly meeting. And typically the weekly meeting has a set agenda for the meeting. It's not open where people are running around milling about. It's a sit-down breakfast or lunch, normally about 90 minutes long. And like I said, usually incorporates a meal. There's usually a fee to attend a weekly meeting. And there's normally a limited amount of visits that you can have before they ask you if you'd like to become a member. And if you decide you'd like to become a member, there's usually a fee to join. So, before even finding your weekly networking meeting, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to prepare. So I'm going to help you find a great meeting to go to, and maybe you've been invited to one. Maybe you've got a client or a friend who says, oh my gosh, you have to come to my weekly meeting. And you're like, 7:30 in the morning? What? All right. Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to prepare so that you honestly, you're a rock star. So let's talk about what to wear, what to bring, when to arrive, and what to say. Because your friend's not going to tell you this. They're going to assume you know. So, as a massage therapist, we have a stereotype to overcome. Words that normally come to mind to describe our tribe are free-spirited, open, kind of a hippie. When going to a meeting with lawyers, accountants, insurance agents, ladies and gentlemen, we have to look our part. You do not need to wear a 3-piece suit, but leave the long, flowing skirts and yoga pants at home. In fact, if you have a uniform at work, wear it. In fact, let's talk for a moment just about what you do wear to work. A standard staff shirt is highly recommended. What do I mean by a standard staff shirt? It doesn't have to be a polo. I know a lot of my massage therapist friends hate to wear polos. They feel constricted. You'll see here I give you an example of a t-shirt that's monogrammed, maybe something with massage therapist on the back of it. I love that. Solid color pants that, well, let's talk about what you actually wear. So solid color pants that fit properly. At work, if you choose to wear shorts, they need to be longer than your fingertip length when your arms are by your sides. Gentlemen, I know you're running around in those short shorts, right? No. So ladies, I'm talking specifically to you. Capri pants preferred, but if you do have shorts, they need to be long shorts that you wear to work. But when looking at going to a meeting, when you're going, again, with these other business professionals, we need to look the part of a trustworthy professional. Yes, your fashion is your own personal style, and too often I've heard, Jody, I left corporate America so I could wear what I want. I get it. However, a networking meeting is not the time for your rebel yell. Everyone else in the room is a potential client, and they know dozens of other potential clients. So please hear me. To be understood, to be taken seriously, we need to run to the beat of their drummer. You can do this. To get new clients, you can do this. Yes, just for 90 minutes, you can do this. So find an appropriate outfit and wear that to your meeting. Now, I also mentioned we talk about what to bring. So I'm sure you can guess. What do you think you need to bring other than yourself to the meeting? Yes! Business cards. Those are your own personal style. And if you have flyers, you can bring them in a folder so they don't get crushed. Like if you have the 8.5 by 11, like a full sheet flyer, please put them in a folder so they don't get crushed. Now I want you to also bring more business cards than you think you'll need. Okay, you don't have business cards? My fellow massage therapists and others who happen to be listening, if you do not have business cards, you do not have a business. You have a hobby. So don't bother with going to a networking meeting because these are other business professionals. Get your business cards, and a shout out to other people in my space who have said, do not have any crossed out information on your business card. They're so affordable. Throw the ones with the wrong information away. Throw them away. Recycle them. Have appropriate business cards. And if you have flyers, that's great. And your one-page flyer, if you bring one, can simply have something like the 10 benefits of massage. And of course, where we've talked about in the past an effective business card and an effective flyer. And so the 7 essential pieces of information that you need on every marketing piece, I'll review briefly with you. So your flyer or your card, but especially if you're handing out flyers, it's not just the 10 benefits of massage. You want to make sure that flyer has your name, your work address, phone number, website, a special offer, a call to action, and an expiration date. You can add your rates if you like, but it's not essential. I want no handwritten information on those flyers. So benefits of massage, you can see here that one-page folder, that one-page flyer. Put it in a manila folder. Have it ready to go with a little tag on it that says Wednesday's meeting. That way in the morning you're not scrambling, trying to print, running out of ink. I know, I've been there. Can you tell? Yeah. So let me help you help yourself. Bring business cards and a flyer, or at least business cards with no handwritten information. All right. Networking like a rock star. We've talked about what to bring. We've talked about what to wear. And now we're going to talk about when to arrive. I want you to arrive a little early. Yes, even if the meeting is at 7 a.m. I know. I get invited regularly to a Wednesday morning meeting at 7 a.m. because I have several business colleagues who attend this meeting regularly, weekly. And it's just, it's rough. However, all of the leadership, all of the people who run that meeting, they don't roll in at 7 a.m. They're there at about 6:30. So when I get there about 10 minutes early, 5 minutes early for the meeting, I'm looking like very professional. Especially, and also another reason to plan to arrive early, other than looking really professional, is if you've never been there before, plan on getting lost. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I've been going to a networking meeting, never been there before, and I have had to do 2 or 3 U-turns. Now, maybe you've got a great sense of direction, but not me, honestly. So plan on a little extra time. Now, if you don't get lost, you can spend 10 minutes in the parking lot practicing your elevator pitch, visualizing a successful event, breathing, getting yourself into a state of positiveness with great music or affirmations. Look, showing up late is disrespectful to the people who are talking or running the meeting. Look, unexpected delays happen, but plan to arrive early to avoid interrupting the meeting, because that doesn't feel good. All right. So we've talked about what to wear. We've talked about what to bring. We've talked about when to arrive. Now it's time to talk about what to say. Now, you're going to have 3 opportunities to talk at these meetings. I just want to pause here for a moment. Aren't you glad I'm explaining this? I wish someone had explained this to me before I started networking, because I really felt like I was winging it. So I am so happy to be able to walk you through how to do this. So going back to your meeting, your weekly meeting, you're going to have 3 opportunities to talk. Now, no matter how smooth you are, we are going to write out your introductions. So first, you'll see here, you're going to have a chance to mix and mingle. You're going to arrive 5 to 10 minutes early. There's going to be other people there. This is going to be a time where you're going to use your elevator pitch. Now, even though it's called a pitch, we're not selling. The name comes from the concept that you're actually riding in an elevator. Imagine you're in an elevator, and you're going from, say, the 15th floor to the 1st floor. Now, someone gets in the elevator, and contrary to what happens normally, which is we all just stare at the wall, the person who walks in say, "Hi, my name is Bob. What's your name?" "Well, nice to meet you, Susie. What do you do?" A successful elevator speech, write this down. A successful elevator speech will make a person say, "Really? How do you do that?" So jot that down. If you have a successful elevator speech, which is just a one-phrase answer to "Susie, what do you do?" If that is a powerful elevator pitch, the person who just asked you is going to say, "Really? How do you do that?" Here's some examples. I work with people who suffer from migraines to help them live a pain-free life. Can you see how that might make your potential client say, "Really? How do you do that?" So, Susie, what do you do? "I help athletes improve their performance and stay injury-free." "Really? How do you do that?" "Hey, Bob, what do you do?" "Well, I help my clients eliminate lower back pain without pills or surgery." Bang! Remember, this phrase is designed to pique a person's interest enough to say, "How do you do that?" So test your elevator speech, your elevator pitch on a colleague or a friend to see how it sounds. Now, hope you have a pen handy, because we're going to craft your own elevator pitch. You're welcome. I know. You don't have to do this on your own. I'm going to help you. I'm going to hold your hand. All right. So there's 2 blanks. I want you to fill in the blank. I help blank to blank. So pick a specific type of person, a specific type of symptom, or a specific profession. So person, symptom, or profession. What do you love to treat? When someone says, "Oh, I've got lower back pain," are you like, "Yeah, silent cheer, yeah, I can totally get neck. Man, let me at that neck." Feet, ankles, bang. I help people with foot pain. I help people with migraines. I help people with restricted range of motion in their neck to move easily and effortlessly, eliminating their pain and increasing their performance. One of my favorites when asked what do I do is I teach massage therapists how to make money. That's my elevator pitch. What do you do? I teach massage therapists how to make money. Or I teach massage therapists how to have a financially successful practice. So I like that. All right, so that's the first opportunity. That elevator pitch is all about the mix and mingle. The mix and mingle, the mix and mingle. So the next time you're going to have an opportunity to speak at your meeting is during the initial introductions. Guests are invited in 20 to 30 seconds, sometimes up to a minute, to say who you are and what you do. Now, this can be the longest 20 seconds of your life if you haven't prepared what you will say. And here is where you're simply going to say your name, your profession, your company name, and your memory hook. So typically this is going to be the very short time in the beginning of the meeting. This is not when you do your full introduction about how you help people. And some well-meaning massage therapists go to a meeting and they try and say a lot in the very initial introductions. Don't worry, you'll get another chance. We're going to talk about that in a minute on how to do a longer introduction. But this is the quick one where you're just going to stand up. You're going to say your name, your profession, your company name, and your memory hook. Memory hook? What's a memory hook? All right, well, let's look at this introduction. Hello, smiling. Smile, smile, smile. Hello, my name is Betty Smith, and I'm a massage therapist at All Hands Therapeutic Massage, and I rub people the right way. Now, you may not like that. So, but you're going to put your own personality into this. The memory hook is something that is memorable. And so some of you may have heard of the hook in a popular song. It's the part that gets stuck in your head. Right now there's a song out with the hook that is all about that bass. All about that bass, about that bass, about that bass. It's the hook that repeats in your head. So, oh, okay, Betty Smith rubs me the right way. It's another practice. If you've got a difficult name, explain it. Isola de Pace. That's a real massage center. Massage on your own personal island of peace. Take a seat chair massage. Give me 15 minutes and I'll give you 100% retention. Give me 15 minutes of your staff member's time and I'll give you 100% retention. Or, hi, I'm a massage therapist. My name is Jody Scholes. I'm a massage therapist at All Hands Therapeutic Massage, and for less than $100, I can make less than $100. I can make you feel like $1 million. So these are all examples of introductions, very brief introductions, with a memory hook. And guys, that's what makes you stand out like a rock star when you prepare. That memory hook is going to demonstrate to your colleagues that you're intentional. You showed up with a plan. All right. Finally, I mentioned there were 3 times you're going to get to speak at a weekly networking meeting. The third and final opportunity for you to speak is going to be when you do your longer introduction. Now, this is still only a minute, but a minute is a long time if you don't have your introduction already prepared. So we're going to use a formula for this. I'm sharing with you my secret formula for an effective introduction. And it's very simple, right here in front of you. P plus S equals HO. Problem plus solution, happy outcome. So what does that look like? Pick a problem or a symptom you and your staff feel very comfortable treating. Now, let me just also mention, I'm giving you this formula so you can duplicate this process over and over again. We don't want the same old tired story year after year. So you can pick a different symptom or problem, but eventually, but to prepare for this meeting, go ahead and pick a problem that you and your staff feel really comfortable treating. I recommend you keep this problem, you stick with this one for 90 days. Yes, 90 days, low back pain, neck, stick with it. Here's where I made the problem. Here's where I had a problem. I didn't do that. I simply want you to give different examples of the same issue, how it shows up. We do this because repetition is the key to learning. When you give repeated examples of the same symptom, then all of a sudden, when your new networking buddy hears someone complaining about that symptoms, someone from that group has an aha moment saying, hey, I know someone who can take care of that. But repetition, it's not variety, it's repetition. They don't need to know everything you can do. They need to know a few things that you can do. And when they hear that symptom, they're going to say, hey, I know somebody who can take that. I take care of that. So pick a problem. All right, pick a symptom, pick a problem. All right, next, explain the solution. Explain the solution. Let's walk through these simple bullet points and then we'll dig down just a little bit more. Explain the solution. I recently had a client come to me because they were having terrible migraine headaches. Explain how you, so we picked the problem, now we're going to talk about the solution. I worked with her once a week for 3 weeks and she's remained migraine free. Her migraines have diminished completely. Describe the happy outcome. Then you're going to wrap up with a good referral from me would be. So let's take a look at how that looks. All right. Recently had a client come to me because they were having terrible migraine headaches. Explain the solution. I worked with her once a week for 3 weeks and happy outcome. She's been pain-free for over a month. She comes back once a month for maintenance and is still amazed she hasn't missed one of her son's baseball games from having a bad headache. Wrapping up, a great referral from me would be to someone who suffers from migraine headaches. My name is Betty Smith from Beltway Medical Massage, where we offer you pain-free living without pills. How about that? All right, see the formula here? Pick a problem, explain the solution, explain the happy outcome, and wrap up with the words, a great referral from me would be. All right, your turn. Go ahead and jot this down. P plus S equals HO. You're going to pick the problem, explain the solution, paint the picture of the happy outcome, describe it, and wrap up with a good referral from me would be. Voila! You got it. Now, here's your challenge. I want you to PM me, private message me, or personal message me, whatever that means, on my Facebook page with that introduction, with your formula. So you can see how I did this here. You can either write it out in a paragraph, or you can write it out in these categories, or you can write it out just in a paragraph form. Send it to me, and I will tell you if I think it will work. I am happy to give you that feedback because I want you to network like a rock star. So that is your introduction. That is the formula, and you can use it every time. Remember, I want you to stick with the same problem for 90 days. Yes, I know. That's 3 months, 4 meetings a month. That's like 12 times you're going to talk about the same symptom. It's okay. It will stick in their minds. They'll be like, damn, don't you do anything else? And you do. But that's another topic for, I'll talk to you about that in just a few minutes in this. So when they say, do you do anything else? That's when it's time for a one-to-one. So it's time to set up a coffee date, a coffee talk with that person who's asked that question. So a quick review of the 3 times you're going to speak at a weekly networking meeting. During the mix and mingle, before the meeting, that's when you're going to use your elevator pitch or your elevator speech. You're going to have a time to do an initial introduction. That's sometimes as short as 10 to 20 seconds. And then you're going to do a real introduction, which is about a minute. And just like I've asked you to send me your introduction, I want you to go ahead and print the longer version. Print all of it if you like. That would be the best practice. But you have to at least print out your introduction, your longer introduction. And if you want to say your memory hook the right way, trust me, I have screwed up my memory hook so many times. go ahead and print out number 2 and number 3. All right? Number 2 and number 3. That will guarantee that you say it right. And people don't care if you read it. In fact, they actually appreciate it when you've prepared ahead of time, and they will be very patient and very encouraging. Now, once you get to the 9th or 10th time you've done your real introduction, you may be able to swing without a net. But to be honest, if I'm going to a new meeting, I write out what I say because I want my message to be delivered. All right, moving along. We've talked about 3 types of meetings where you can network like a rock star. We've just checked the box, the weekly meeting. You got an overview of what to do. There are 2 other types of meetings that you have an option to go to or be invited to or RSVP to, and that's the open networking or special event networking. Let's move on to the open networking. Open networking allows you to mix and mingle with everyone in the room. The key to a productive open networking event is to set 3 goals before you even walk in the room. Big secret! This is why most people hate networking, because they walk into a room, they don't know anybody, they go directly to the food or the bar, they don't even know what a successful event outcome is. You and me, we're going to set 3 goals before we even walk into that room. So, maybe it's gather 10 cards. Maybe it's meet a chiropractor. Maybe it's meet that neighboring business. Maybe it's simply to practice your elevator speech. Ask lots of questions and wait to offer any information about yourself until you are asked. Okay, jot that down. I will wait to say anything about myself until I am asked. Guys, isn't it annoying when people come up and they just pitch you? Yeah. Well, look, you don't want to be that guy, right? Or that gal. So when you're asked, so, Tanya, what do you do? Use your elevator pitch when you are asked what you do. And if you have a great elevator pitch, what are they going to say? Yeah, how do you do that? Exactly. Then you can talk to them a little bit about that. But always end with a question. Pitch it back to them. A great networker, a rock star networker. They share information. And really, the best networkers try and gather as much information about everybody as they can. And sometimes even play a game where they'll say as little about themselves as they can and get as much information about you. You'd be shocked. No, you wouldn't. You're a massage therapist. You'd be shocked at what people will share about themselves. Yeah. So ask lots of questions. About halfway through the open networking, I just want to give you this insight. About halfway through the event, there will be some announcements, some introductions of VIPs in the room. At times during these open networking events, as a guest, you'll be allowed to introduce yourself. Now, I want you to use that initial introduction we talked about earlier, the 10 to 20 second version. During that introduction, you just do name, company name, and you can say a quick, I work with this symptom to get this happy outcome. And then you end again with my name is and the company. So you're going to sandwich name and company in the beginning and the end. So my name is Jody Scholes. My company is called the Business of Bodywork. I work with massage therapists, enthusiastic, open-minded massage therapists who want to massively grow their book of business, who want to massively increase their business. Again, my name is Jody Scholes, businessofbodywork.com. Did you hear what I did on the end? I said my website. You can completely replace your company name and just use your website, which is why it's important to have an easy name to remember for your website. And love you guys, okay, but I'm going to tell you, dashes, numbers, funny spellings, it's confusing to your potential clients. Keep it simple. All right. Let's see an example of open networking introduction. Hi, my name is Rob Robertson. I'm a massage therapist at All Hands Therapeutic Massage. I work with women who suffer from migraine headaches to allow them to live pain-free, never again missing days of work or kids' soccer games because they have a headache or are too sensitive to light. Again, my name is Rob Robertson from All Hands Therapeutic Massage. We offer pain-free living without pills. My name is Rob Robertson from allhandstherapeuticmassage.com or allhandsmassage.com, whatever your website is. So you're going to morph that a little bit. Again, there's a formula though, right? You're going to do name and company name. You're going to go ahead and do a very brief problem, symptom, happy outcome. And then you're going to do name and company name or name and website, right? I've learned in my business school, and hey guys, you know what? I am still learning. Every week I am still learning, and that's why I'm so proud of you for taking this time to learn with me. But I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. I used to just say my company name. Now I rarely say my company name. I say my website. So skip a step with me and just use your website as your name and where they can find more about you. All right. So check the box, open networking meeting. You understand what to do. Finally, the third type of meeting that you'll have an opportunity to go to is a special event type meeting. Now, a special event is networking, but it's open networking with a theme. So I like to find health and wellness themed events. This could be a health fair, a trade show. It could be a trade show for a medical profession. It could be a large association event like our AMTA or ABMP. You'll most likely at this event be walking around visiting booths, or everyone in the room will be affiliated with some health and wellness profession. Your interaction with people is going to be very limited, very short. Sometimes it's super short. Use your elevator pitch if you're asked what you do. If you're at a booth type setting, go ahead and get a business card from every booth. Because with each of these networking, the open and the special event networking, when you get business cards, what do you do with them? Have you ever started a stack of business cards on your table and not known what to do with them? And hot leads get lukewarm sitting on your desk. That is because no one has ever showed you how to follow up. I am going to show you how to follow up like a rock star. So some people just take those names and they throw them on their e-blast newsletter list. We are going to have a plan of action when it comes to following up. Very, very simple, and it's just 2 steps. Now, if you go to a trade show or you go to a special event networking and you gather 20, 30, 50 business cards and you're walking out of there fist pumping, whoop, whoop, you can't just add those names to your e-newsletter list. It's rude. Sorry, it is. It's rude. I know. Haven't you been added to a list that you didn't want to be on? It's okay to unsubscribe. We have to ask their permission. So If you see people out of those 50, I don't know how many you want to stay in touch with. If they're all health and wellness professionals, absolutely. And here's what you need to do. It was nice to meet you, but either way, you have to ask their permission to be on your list. You cannot just add people to your list. So here is exactly what to say. And this is on a PDF file that I'm sending to you that you have access to right now. That comes with this webinar. So here's the content of your email. It was nice to meet you at the ABC networking event. After talking to you, I'd like to connect with you again. One of the ways I stay in touch with like-minded people is through a monthly newsletter. However, I never add people to my newsletter list without first asking. So with your permission, I'd like you to be part of the handful of people who get my e-newsletter. Either way, I won't be offended. I simply won't. It's simply one way I stay in touch. Bang. And then, guys, when you grow your newsletter list, it's with people who want to be on it. Now, some of you have taken the next step and you created the opt-in newsletter, which means that before they can receive it, they get an opt-in email that's saying, hey, you've signed up for this newsletter. Do you really want it? That's cool. But this is a way to specifically take those business cards you have and say, hey, I'd like to go ahead and, this is one way I stay in touch with like-minded people. And so with your permission, would you like to be added to the handful of people? Why do I say handful? Right. We don't want them to think there's thousands and thousands of people on our list, even if there are. So, and then you say, either way, I won't be offended. It's simply one way I stay in touch. Dude, that is classy, isn't it? Exactly. Yeah, and that's the type of professional that you want to be. So with that open networking, with the, when you get a big group, let me also mention the difference between, like, say you have a lot of these emails to send and you don't have a secretary. Are you going to send individual emails? Yes, that is my preference, that you send individual emails. However, if you must send a group email, what are you going to use? Right. You are going to use the BCC, Bravo Cat Cat, BCC. And that is where you're going to put all of the names of your group email. What does BCC stand for? Thank you. Blind Carbon Copy, which means your recipients cannot see the other email addresses. Again, it's professional and it's classy. It's the third line on your email addresses, the third line. And if you're wondering what to put on the first line, put your own name. Put your own name on there and put BCC everyone else. That's only necessary if you're sending a group email. All right. From the handful of emails that you get from a weekly meeting, how do you follow up? Wow, there's 3 or 4 people that I got their business cards or they're on this list, and I really want to follow up with them. First step, step 1, two-step process, step 1. Because our email box is so littered with so many unimportant emails, I recommend that the people who you've traded business cards with, who you want to stay in touch with, get a handwritten note. All you have to do is plan about 15 minutes a day after your event to write these notes. You can write something like, it was so nice to meet you at the event. Thanks for taking some time to speak with me. I enjoyed learning a little bit about your services. Good luck in the future as your business continues to grow. These are for people maybe who you're not sure. Everyone knows someone who needs a massage, but maybe these aren't the healthcare professionals. This is something you can even print out ahead of time if your handwriting stinks, and then just sign it. Guys, it's classy. So many people don't even bother to follow up after an event. This is classy, and it's a handwritten note. And if your handwriting stinks, type it out on your letterhead or type it out, and you can sign it, okay? So nice to meet you at the event. Thanks for taking some time to speak with me. I enjoyed learning a little bit about your business. Good luck in the future as your business continues to grow. Throw your business card in there, throw a flyer in there if you want. You're not selling in this note. No, you're not. Special offer. You want to throw in a $10 coupon, fine, but the body of the note is simply, hey, it was nice to meet you. If they want to follow up, they will. But you're being the professional. You're networking like a rock star. You're following up. All right, I mentioned there were 2 steps. Step number 2, one-to-ones. One-to-ones are not sales calls. It's a time to build credibility. What's a one-to-one? Well, occasionally you may find someone who's in immediate need of your services, but normally you're simply looking to raise some interest at these groups. But we never know where our next great referral is going to come from. So at times we want to set up a one-to-one. One-to-ones are coffee talks, like have a cup of coffee, have breakfast. It's normally not dinner. It's normally not happy hour. It's normally, between 9 and 4, and they're usually an hour to 90 minutes. In fact, there's a really large organization called BNI, and the Business Networking International, and they have a formula that they use that I want to give full credit to, and it's called visibility plus credibility equals profitability. And I really like to share that with you because at times we think networking is about profitability. We think we can jump right to profitability, and we can't. We have to build visibility and credibility. In fact, here's how it goes. At the weekly meetings, at the open networking, you create visibility. By attending regularly or becoming a member, you create credibility. But to jumpstart your credibility, you do one-to-ones. And this is where a lot of my massage therapist colleagues get stuck. Like, well, Jody, I go to the meetings, and I'm not getting any referrals. Are you doing any one-to-ones? Again, guys, you never know where that next best referral is going to come from. There might be a member of your chamber or of your networking group that never, ever, ever gets a massage, but they send you lots of people. Go ahead and do a one-to-one with a couple people to get the feeling for it. Now, what do you do during a one-to-one? Well, you guessed it. I'm going to give you some helpful hints on what to say during a one-to-one. So now I mentioned BNI earlier, and they have a one-page worksheet, which I'm about to share with you, and you have it as a PDF file. And it's based on the acronym GAINS. So GAINS. And we're going to use what's already out there, guys. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here. So here's the GAINS, the GAINS. What does it stand for? What are your goals? And this is questions you're asking of the person you sit down with. Now I hear you. What about my goals? Jody, what about me getting a chance to talk? You're going to prepare ahead of time the answers to these questions. And you can either email them ahead of time or you can just bring them with you so that if it's appropriate, you can just hand this sheet to the person you're having coffee with. Maybe you run out of time. Maybe you get an urgent phone call. Have this sheet filled out ahead of time, and you're going to see the worksheet in just a minute. Have it filled out ahead of time so that you can just hand it to them with clear information. So here are the questions you're going to ask of them. What are your goals? What accomplishments have you had? Now, I'm not talking about I was captain of the high school football team. What have you accomplished within your industry? What are your interests outside of work? What networks do they belong to? What does that mean, networks? What associations? What other groups are they involved with? What clubs do they belong to? Those are their networks. What church do they go to? Those are the networks that they belong to. And then finally, what skills do they have that make them stand out in their profession? Here's a picture of the worksheet that you have, and it gives you each of those categories in a block with an explanation like I just gave you, so that you can remember the perspective. So as I mentioned, you want to fill this out for yourself, and then you want to ask these questions. You can ask them to fill out a worksheet too before your one-to-one, but if they don't, or if you didn't, go ahead and ask them these questions. There's some additional questions you can ask if you don't want to just stick to the gains worksheet. Here are some additional questions you can ask. And yes, they're also a part of the PDF file. So, but here's a quick review. Where'd you grow up? How long have you been in the area? How did you get started doing what you do? What's your favorite sports team? What interested you about doing this? Tell me about a great customer, and tell me what makes them a great customer. Wouldn't that be a great question to answer? Tell me about a great client of yours, and what about them makes them a great client? Oh my gosh, Judy, they're so appreciative. They're so thankful for the work. And yes, they come regularly. They get a massage regularly. Another question, how were you referred to that customer? Where did you find that great customer? How did they find you? I want you to think about that for a minute. A great customer, I bet you everybody has one that pops into mind. How did they find you? How were they referred to you? Could you duplicate that? All right, but back to our questions for our one-to-one. What specific people are good sources of referrals for you? Now, if the person that you're having the one-to-one with is observant, they will ask you some of the same questions. So be prepared to answer them. All right, take a breath. We're reviewing. That's our content. In this session, here's a little bit about what we've gone over today. In this session, we've identified the 3 different types of networking groups. And now you can distinguish, you can compare which type of meeting you think is going to be best for you. You are armed and dangerous. You know, do I want to visit weekly groups? Do I want to find a weekly group? I'd recommend it. Do I want to do open networking? Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest that you're doing some type of open networking, special event, or weekly group once a week. Yes, once a week, I know. But you've identified now the different types of groups so you know what to look for. You can just Google it, right? Your city networking. Your city chamber. Your city BNI. Your city meetup. Your city weekly networking. Find something close to you. A good meeting is close to you. All right, we also summarized and crafted 3 different types of introductions. We crafted your elevator pitch. We explained how to do a brief initial introduction with a memory hook. And then we did the 1-minute introduction, which ends with what's a good referral for you. And I invited you to go ahead and send that to me, email it to me. If you're not on Facebook, send it to me via personal message. You can find me at businessofbodywork.com or Business of Bodywork on Facebook. So I invite you to send it to me, and I'll send you back my comments. And then finally, you can now easily duplicate the process of following up after a meeting with 2 simple steps, right? Handwritten note and the one-to-one. In fact, you even got a bonus of what to say during the one-to-one. The personal example questions, and then also the gains worksheet. You got it. You got the tools you need now for an effective one-to-one. Is this good stuff? All right. So your homework is to find 3 meetings to attend in the next 2 weeks. Here's your call to action. Here is how it's going to make a difference. Now, if you're like me, there are sometimes you've attended a webinar and you're all charged up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so going to work. And then you don't do anything. So your challenge is get started right away. My challenge was that I didn't start right away. And then the law of diminishing returns kicks in. And that is the more days that go by, the less likely that you are to take any action. So it's important that you take some type of action right now. In fact, a great action would be to RSVP to a meeting. Yes, RSVP to a meeting. You can see here the instructions that I just verbally gave you about how to Google. Find a meeting and we're going to find 3 meetings and attend them in the next 2 weeks. So that is your homework. And the other part of your homework that's on here, and it is here's your kick in the rear, if you've listened to the other webinars, then you know you will have already ordered your special offer postcards. You see, and this is a 6-part series. As a part of it, we designed in the previous episode, in episode number 2, we designed a special offer postcard, and I encouraged you to order it through Vistaprint or your own design company. So here's your reminder, order those special offer postcards. So please at least have those cards ordered before you listen to the next webinar. The next webinar is called Sexy Stuff, Printing Mailing Labels. I know, there isn't much sexy about mailing labels, but there really is. Because once you have your mailing labels done, you're so close to done with your special offer mailing. So as a sneak preview to the next episode, we're not only going to be walking through the process of ordering, of printing mailing labels, which a lot of people don't know how to do. But here's our look ahead. We're not only going to be walking through that, but we're also going to be talking about how to use EDDM, which is Every Door Direct Mail. It's something that the United States Post Office is giving us as a small business tool. It's super affordable, 17 cents a piece, right? 17 and a half cents a piece to send a postcard. And in episode number 4, we're going to dissect how to use EDDM and how to put your mailing labels and get that all ready to go. So that's why it's exciting to be printing mailing labels. So I challenge you to order your postcards, find 3 meetings in the next 2 weeks, and practice your introduction. So as a final kind of thanks for being here. I really appreciate your time and attention. As you can tell, I'm super enthusiastic about your success during it. If you're going to make the effort to go and network, I want to foster that spirit, or that courageous spirit, and give you some tools to use. And I love doing that. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I look forward to being in your ears again during another episode. But until then, I wish for you a record-breaking week full of more clients than you've ever had before. Namaste.